Happy Friday, you guys! Welcome to episode 2 of Uncork my Dork. I'm going to have so much fun saying that every single time I open up this show. It's just how it is, so you're welcome. I'm MK Meredith and I write an emotional write on heated sheets. And today I am going to answer one of the most commonly asked questions. So one of my good friends from high school, Shannon, she had read Seducing Seven, not Seducing Heaven. There's a whole other story there. Actually, that reminds me of a whole other story when I was pregnant, but that'll be for another episode because, oh my gosh, I was mortified. But anyway, now you guys are wondering what that's about. Shannon was reading Seducing Seven, and she had Facebook messaged me and asked whether or not my stories are based on things that really happened in my life, or if it's all just completely fiction. And the answer is always, I think, a little of both. And I would say that that's probably very close to any author, because we always pull from our own reserves, our own backstory, on how we handle certain things like love or grief or loss or excitement. And even within our characters having their own personalities, I think that can't help but be affected by who we are. As far as the events in the story, for me, a lot of things will inspire certain scenes or certain stories, but very little of it is actually exactly what happens. However, there is a caveat, because sometimes true life will really inspire a whole entire scene. For example, in Malibu Betrayals, which for those of you who just love Malibu Betrayals and Malibu Secrets, do not worry. Books 3 and 4 will eventually come to life. I just need to find more time in the day. But I have those stories ready. But back to Malibu Betrayals, one of the favorite scenes in that book is the shower scene. And for any of you who have read it, you know what I'm talking about. It was the scene that I got the most messages from, was the shower scene. It is a hot, steamy shower. Look, I entertain myself, and I haven't had my full cup of coffee yet, so I am not as funny as I think I am. But that scene was actually inspired by true events with my husband, Brian. And I think he's probably mortified by it, but he's such a good sport. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go read Malibu Betrayals. And when you get to that scene, you're going to be like, oh my gosh. Because that is based on true events. There are a lot of other scenes that could be similar to that, not always having to do with the sexy time. And then there's lots of scenes that just were what was next in the story, and that's what my characters told me had to happen. So that's a funny way, I guess, to explain it, but those of you who write also know what I mean. For Seducing Seven, the only thing her and I had in common is that we were both, or are both romance authors, because she's a New York Times bestselling romance author who's in Vegas for this big, huge convention, and she butts head with this luxury salesman named Blake. Beyond our fierce love for love and defending love and romance and being romance authors, her and I are very different. She is a short woman with a tiny waist and like a kick-ass ass. I am a tall woman, and sometimes I have a really hard time finding my butt. So if any of you know how to find one, you let me know. And don't tell me squats, because I do that and nothing happens. I feel like they forgot to put a gluteus maximus in there and they only gave me the minimus. So I guess that's my lot in life. I'll survive. Don't you guys worry. Anyway, so for your question, Shannon, about how much is true and how much is fiction, most of it's fiction, but everything's inspired by things that we see or do every day. Love on the Cape, which is the first book of my Cape Van Buren series, that whole story was based off of an idea that I got because I watched one episode of By an Island, and that is where that story all bloomed from. So Malibu Betrayals, back to that one stemmed from a dream that I had. And I just worked through that, kind of started writing things down, and then that story, you know, exploded. So it's a little of everything. Now you guys know. So I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Thank you for tuning into episode 2 of Uncork My Dork. And now that my cork has been undorked, nope, that's not right. Now that my dork has been uncorked, I will let you guys get back to your day. Hey, I will drop the links for Malibu Betrayals and for Love on the Cape down in the comments below. If you want to tune in to any of my silly antics, please subscribe to my page and check out mkmeredith.com. There's some free fun things on the website that you can find, like desktop organizers and 30 days of love inspiration, because you know I love the love. Anyway, hugs, loves, and peanut butter. I will talk to you guys soon.